Hey everybody, it's Jana Stolnick. Welcome Nurse Rockstars. So excited that you're here. Welcome to our mini Legal Nurse Consulting Summit. For those of you that are new here, my name is Jana Stolnick. I'm a legal nurse consultant. I own my own LNC business, and I also own Legal Nurses Rock, which is a training and mentorship program for other registered nurses looking at doing what I do. So I am so incredibly excited to welcome. We are live on multiple platforms, so I may not be able to see everybody's comments, but if you did register for this webinar, please make sure that you shout out in the chat here where you're from and what your nursing specialty is, because I really want this to be a interactive training that we do together. I think that will help you learn. And I also really love getting to know my nurses. So I want to hear all about you. So let me see here in the chat, make sure that it is sent to panelists and attendees so that everyone can see where you're from and what your nursing specialty is. And I want to hear, where are you from? What's your nursing specialty? Holy cow, hi from Australia. Amazing. Hello, Miss Melanie. How are you? Colleen is from Richmond, Virginia, adult nurse practitioner, 24 years in the nursing home. A fabulous experience. That is really, really a great experience to have in this field. So welcome. Hi, Edward. Hi, Ed from Wisconsin. Nursing experience is med-surg, ICU, step down, ER, and now case management, which is all fabulous for legal nurse consulting. So welcome, Edward. It's nice to have you here, or Ed. Heather. Hello, Heather in North Carolina, ICU, PACU, RN. Welcome to you. Laura, PCU travel nurse. Shout out to my travel nurses. I love you and I miss traveling. Welcome here. Ready to expand my knowledge? I actually jumped right into legal nurse consulting after doing travel nursing. In fact, travel nursing was the very thing that pushed me into legal nurse consulting. So I'm so glad that you're here. Whoa, we've got Miss Marcina from Mississippi, Louisiana, forensics, ED, and Sane A. Yes. Ooh, Carla in corrections. You guys are on fire. I love this. Karen in oncology, vascular nursing, and leadership in Massachusetts. Welcome, you guys. What's up, Nancy? Nancy's here from Fresno, California. Peds and PICU, my specialty. So nice to see you. Callie is here, my girl Callie. Kelly is one of my ladies. Melissa is here. Welcome, Josie from Indiana. CVOR travel nurse working in Arizona right now, or labor and delivery experience. Sorry, this is like flying. Hi, everybody. Hi from Cali. Welcome. Hello, Nicole, Washington. Nurse of 26 years, multiple specialties, OR, and can't even read, you guys. Sorry, regulatory risk management coming from, and it passed me. I don't know anymore, but I think it's Savannah, Georgia. This is awesome. History of labor delivery, substance abuse. Fabulous, Kathleen. We will talk about what a great specialty substance abuse is, especially when you're doing this in criminal law. So that's a great background to have. Welcome. So nice to have you here. Jessica from Michigan, experienced med-surg oncology, currently working in clinical QA where we do appeals from insurance companies. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Boy, will that help you in this field. Hi guys, Corinne here, 10 years bedside pediatrics and NICU. Hello, my specialty. So if you ever went, I don't know if I can do this because I only have peds as experience, you can. So I'm so glad you're here. Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so incredibly grateful for you. What I want to do tonight, you guys, I want this to be fun. Like if you're here right now, shout out in the comments if you're just burned out. Just say burned out. Because when I was looking into the field of legal nurse consulting, I'll be honest, I was burned out. There wasn't a lot that made me excited. I remember looking into legal nurse consulting and thinking it was a scam because everyone was super happy. And I was like, okay, who are all these weirdos? Like nurses are not that happy. So I know the feeling of burned out. And so raise your hand. There we go. Raise your hand if you're just like burned out, so ready to get out of nursing, but spent a lot of money on my nursing degree, have a lot of experience, still love nursing, but want something different. How on earth can I utilize this career and this background in a totally different way? If you are burned out, first of all, I feel ya. I know exactly how you feel. I remember the day that I recognized I was completely burned out and a little depressed too. So you are in a good place. I'm so happy you're here, and just know that we're going to learn a lot of things tonight. But there really is light at the end of that tunnel if you're very serious about making a move in your career. And we want to help you do that and help you find your passion and love for nursing again, because yeah, we started as nurses for a reason, right? We love people, we love helping people, and you have to be really committed in order to even jump into this. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a background about myself and answer some of your questions so you know where I came from, what I do, who the heck am I. If you're here for the first time, shout out first in the comments because I want to welcome you if you've never seen me speak live. I really want to welcome you because you are probably like, who is this chick and why is she on my Facebook Facebook feed right now? Like, how did she even pop up here? Welcome, Colleen. Oh my gosh, so many first timers. Tammy, Kayla, Katie, Kathleen, Laura. Holy geez, welcome you guys. This is awesome. I'm so incredibly glad that you're here. Hang on, let me see if I can scroll up without messing everything up. Laura, Corinne, Crystal, Tracy, my goodness, this is awesome. Ed, first time here too. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, okay, let me tell you who I am so you can be happy. So I am, let's see, I was a CNA, an LVN, and I became an RN back in 2006. And I started in really the rehab department is where I first started. I moved into NICU, PICU, and the pediatric ER. Loved the hospital I was working in. Thought it was great. I was kind of started getting a little like itchy. Everyone was like getting married and like starting their families, and I wasn't. And I was like, maybe I want to try travel nursing. So I decided to do travel nursing, and I traveled across the country. I even went in Haiti. I went to Haiti like a day after the earthquake in 2010. And I saw a lot of things in the US and then outside of the US that I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to help and I want to change things. And I'm not happy with my job. And I was sad and depressed and all kinds of things. So in 2009, I had started looking up lawyer, nurse, all different words. I didn't know legal nurse consulting even existed. Raise your hand if you had no idea legal nurse consulting even existed until today. I didn't know what it was, didn't know it existed. And I was like, maybe I need to go back for my NP. Maybe that will make me happy. But then there was that common thing we all hear that NPs make what RNs make, right? If you're just doing clinic and you don't get that overtime. And I was like, I don't want to go to all that schooling, have more debt and make what I already make. Like that doesn't make sense. But anyway, I actually went through half of an MP program and then quit halfway through when I discovered legal nurse consulting. Crazy. So I actually started my legal nurse consulting business in 2009 and was like, how the heck am I going to make this happen? So I was living at the time in Chicago, Illinois. I had been doing a travel assignment there. And I just decided to dive into this crazy field and kind of figure it out. I had taken a course, then I went out and I hit the pavement. Back when I started, you guys, none of these cute little helpful legal nurse consulting Facebook groups like ours existed. So there was not a lot of support, and I really was just winging it. Do I have any people that just love to wing it here, like just jump and ask questions later? That's totally my personality. So I actually went and, are we doing okay? Let me double check. I think we're doing okay. So I actually went and went door to door to attorneys' offices and started talking to them about what needs they had if they were in medical malpractice or personal injury, and did they ever have a hard time understanding medical records, and just trying to get a feel of where they needed help. And from there, I was then able to pitch how a nurse could help them. And it was, at the time, the attorneys, and still attorneys don't know what we do, you guys, and a majority of what we do is still educate attorneys. But at that time, like it really was still very, very new, even though legal nurse consulting kind of started in the 80s. So I walked into this attorney's office and basically told him, hey, look, I could go through those medical records. And he had like boxes of them. I'm like, who does this for you? Who goes through them? And he's like, well, I usually do, or I have my paralegal do it. And I'm like, yeah, but that takes time away from what you guys do best, which is law, right? Like lawyers don't want to sit and go through medical records. So I just basically talked to him and said, look, I'm willing to, like, this is my very first one. I'm willing to just, go out there and give this a shot if you're willing to give me a shot. And he was willing. And he gave me that first case. He actually sent me home on a cab. I remember getting in a taxi cab with boxes of records. And that's literally how I got my foot in the door. I actually got on the bus and then went down there, and then I came back in a cab. So we have come a long way in the world of legal nurse consulting, which I'm really excited to share with you because I no longer go door to door. And that was terrifying for me because I was actually a very shy person, even though you probably don't believe it because I'm on here. Yes, if you guys have a question, if you click on the Q&A, throw your questions in there, and then I can answer them individually and click them off so that I know I answered you. So that's kind of my background in nursing, and got fed up with what I was seeing, how the nurses were being treated, how the patients were being treated, was really kind of like, how do I fix this? Started looking into legal anything with nurse in the word. This popped up, bada bing, bada boom. That's how my business got started back in 2009. So I've actually been doing this for a very long time, Ed. I hope that answers your question. And I started Legal Nurses Rock. So this program, this training mentorship program I have, and boy, has it just exploded. But I started this almost now 7 years ago. So I'm glad you're seeing me for the first time, but I have been around for a really long time. When I started Legal Nurses Rock, it was because I was lonely. I actually nurses were asking me, hey, how do you work from home? What do you do? And can you teach me how to do it? And so I started teaching other nurses how to do what I do. And then there just became so many more nurses. I couldn't duplicate myself fast enough to help nurses. So I decided I was going to start like a lounge for nurses to come hang out, and I would help support them and help them grow in their business. And I was lonely, like I said. A lot of the nurses who had done this with me in 2009 were not even practicing because they were not having success. And so I was like, well, I want to help nurses and I want them to have success because I kind of want some friends in this field. Like, when you go into work, you guys, like, how many of you have your work family? Like, you would die for your work family. Like, I had some of the best work families in some of the hospitals that I worked at. And I was like, I don't have a work family. I'm literally by myself working. This is so lonely. So that's where Legal Nurses Rock came about. In 2019, I wrote a book, Crush It, The Legal Nurse Blueprint for Success. It went #1 on Amazon in healthcare and trends. So I'm super proud of that. And that book kind of catapulted our program and everything. And now I've got a team of 10 people, staff, nurses that work for me on Legal Nurses Rock alone. That doesn't include the nurses that work for me as subcontractors in my other business, in my legal nurse consulting business. So we've just done massive growth, and we are so excited to help other nurses do this because our nurses are happy. How many of you would like to be happy in your job again? Shout out in the comments, happy, if you'd like to be happy again, because I want to make sure you're not asleep on me. And I actually need a drink, please. Right? Laura says, happy. Ed, happy, 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 happy. You guys, this isn't faux happy right here, okay? This is legit happy. And I want you to feel the same way. Okay, I remember leaving the hospital, you guys, on day 3. And it would be like early in the morning. And I wanted to run out those doors so fast. I could feel it in my bones. Nobody knows what we're talking about unless your nurse is right. Anybody here, raise your hand. Seriously, I would want to scream at the top of my lungs. I was so excited to get out of there. And it wasn't that I hated my job. I was just unhappy and I just didn't want to be there. I really was ready for something new. But do you know what I'm talking about when you feel it in your bones? I'm out of here. Yes, best day ever. and then you sleep for like 3 days because you're so tired. Anyway, so that is my little journey. Let me tell you, okay, let's start here. The more that you chat, first of all, I have my assistants, they're on and they're watching. We're gonna do, let me tell you, I get a little excited and then I forget what I'm doing. We're gonna do some drawing. So I have 3 Crush It books that we're gonna give away tonight. So you just gotta keep commenting and be happy and bring energy. And I will sign this and I will send it to you. I might even kiss it, but then I'll probably get in trouble for COVID. So I will just sign it. And we're gonna give these away. So the more people that chat, the better. And then also for the ladies or the gentlemen, whoever likes the sparkles, I do have 2 Legal Nurses Rock hats and they are adorable. So we're gonna give away 2 Legal Nurses Rock hats tonight, 3 books, and all you have to do is bring the energy, bring your happy, and do a lot of commenting, okay? So that I don't feel like I'm talking to the wall, because that's just weird. So let's start. What time is it? I'm gonna watch the clock here. Swag master. We love our swag, you guys. Like, I'm always like, ooh, what's the funniest like thing we could come up with that only legal nurse consultants get, right? It doesn't exist. Like, this is still a really cool new field. So anyway, I'm excited to share it with you newbies tonight. And there are a lot, you know what? Wait, if you're in my program now, or you're like one of my people, shout out in the comment and I don't know, say something funny. Legal Nurses Rock. There you go. Legal Nurses Rock in the comment section. If you're one of my current students, if I've mentored you in the past, if you're looking at mentoring with me now, yeah. Oh, good job. Jessica's finishing up mastery. There's a lot of you in here. I love when my people come back to hang out with me on a Sunday. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I want to rock with you. All right, Kathleen. Hey, Ed, I'm glad you're seriously considering it. I'm seriously glad that you're here. And I'm happy and excited to answer any questions you guys have tonight, which we will do here. So I am, oh, somebody said, yes, they're starting soon. Just finished up 101. What's up? Certificate is done. Working on my first case in mastery. I love you guys. Want to join? Want to know more? Oh my gosh, we will help you tonight. In fact, we're going to handhold you into getting your own login and password and a VIP pass into our Legal Nurse Lounge tonight, where you will be able to get my fee schedule, my very personal fee schedule that took my business, guys, over 7 figures 2 years ago. Okay, I'm sharing that with you with your own template so that you can build your own. And so don't worry, we got you covered tonight. So let's have some fun. So I'm not a jump into something, so fear is holding me back. Kayla, I think that's right. Fear holds a lot of us back, and that's okay. That's why we're here, because we don't make you jump by yourself. You actually get to hold hands with us and jump with us. We're all still actually jumping every day. Like, you never stop marketing in this field. So it's like every day is a day. Every day is like your first day in business. So it's okay. You got us. We're all doing it together. Yay, Becky, thinking about starting. Woo-hoo. I'm getting off topic, but I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so happy. So what is legal nurse consulting? So I'm going to break it down because there's a lot of information out there, and I like to be as like honest and like word vomit and quick to the point as I can, because I think nurses are busy and we just want to know, what do I need to know now to move to the next step? Like, we don't want any fluff. So I go right to the point. So legal nurse consultants, you guys, typically when you think of one, you usually think of a nurse that has her own business, his or her own business, and they work with law firms independently as a contracted employee or as a contractor, essentially. And they work with different law firms, any type of firm that would have a medical record come across its desk, they can utilize a legal nurse consultant. So medical malpractice, that's the first one most people think of. Personal injury, workers' compensation. One a lot of people don't think about is criminal. People get assaulted, shot. There are medical records in there too. So criminal work, actually, when I started my business, a majority of my work was criminal work. I kind of fell into that, and then word of mouth got around, and then suddenly all the criminal lawyers were using my services. So that kind of became my big thing. And I did some forensic nursing and stuff too, took some courses and certifications in that. Criminal, I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? I think that's it. If I missed one, shout it out because I'm probably missing it. But so usually we think of a legal nurse consultant as somebody who's going out, starting their own company, and then working as a contractor for attorneys. The cool thing about being a legal nurse consultant, when you do that, when I started, because we get paid significantly more than we do in the hospital, you actually have to work a little less because you make a little more. Does that make sense? So you really only need about 2 to 3 attorneys to have success in this field that are giving you consistent work, right? I actually have one attorney that feeds, I don't know, 4 nurses. One attorney feeds 4 nurses, has enough work to keep 4 nurses of mine, subcontractors, busy. So I think one of the things when people are looking into legal nurse consulting is they think they need to market to, like, they need to have like 1,000 attorneys to make money. You don't. You need 2 to 3. Thank you. Wrongful death. Thank you. I knew Melissa would, like, Melissa, help me out. They need 2 to 3 attorneys who understand their value to help them really go full-time and make a good income. So you're not looking at needing a ton. And I think that's a big breath of fresh air for a lot of nurses looking at getting into this field, because I think marketing, raise your hand if marketing just terrifies you to death. Anybody? Because nurses aren't typically marketers, right? We go into the hospital, we do our job, and families just believe us. Like, we don't have to like go in to the hospital and be like, hey mom, so my name's Janice. I've been doing this for like 15 years. I started in the ICU, so I know exactly what I'm doing. You know what I mean? You don't have to market yourself. You just go in and people believe you. So when you're starting or building a business, that can be really scary, that marketing factor of, what do I say? What if I mess up? What if they ask me something I don't know the answer to? A lot of fear behind that. Good. Look, it's scary. It is scary, period. It still makes me nervous to this day. But the people that have success are the ones who push through the fear. And the hardest part about this business is pushing through the fear of being afraid of marketing. That's it. So if we can get you from point A to point B and push you through that fear, you guys, that's when magic starts to happen. How many of you saw the video I had when I first was doing this? Win, because we help you not only push through that fear, we actually give you the exact steps to reach out to your attorney clients, what to do when they say what they say, and which avenue to go. Plus, you have mentoring from me. So anytime you have any question in the process, hey, Janice, what do I say to this? Hey, Janice, what do I do here? Hey, Janice, I just got this case. It's this, and this. What next? I'm here to help you. That's sweet, because that doesn't really exist anywhere. Time and energy consuming for sure. So we talked about the biggest way you think about legal nurse consultants, but legal nurse consultants also work in insurance companies. Insurance companies will hire them to go through claims and see if there's merit there, essentially. Hospitals are starting to catch on to how awesome legal nurse consultants are, and they're starting to hire LNCs to help, their staff learn how to chart better, to do some QA, to go in and review those medical records and make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So hospitals are catching on to how awesome LNCs are. I will replay that video, Cindy, when we take a potty break in just a little bit. So don't worry about it. So there are a lot of other opportunities. Plus, you can also just be like, hey, I love this. I want to do this, but I want to work for another nurse that's having success and do what's called subcontracting. So you have to have your own business because you still need to be a contractor, but you can actually work for another nurse that's having success. So I have a lot of subs that actually work with me, a lot of subcontractors. I have some that have been with me for 4+ years. and they just don't go away. And I love them. And if they went away, I'd probably die and it would be very sad. They are my family. They help this business run. And some people just don't want to market and they just want to work for someone having success. And that is great because we need help. There's a lot of them. And we sent a lot of nurses. Actually, raise your hand if maybe you've had some subcontracting gigs after going through Mastery and Biz Growth. We see our nurses come through our program, and the ones that do a really great job and are really serious and are doing good work, not just good, but great work. We only pump out really great reports. We teach you how to do that too, but we, see them and we give them some subcontracting opportunities from other nurses that we know that are having success, that have either gone through our programs or haven't, and they're just my friends. So there's so many ways to do this. And I think that's what I love so much about this career. I don't think people, when they're first starting out as a newbie, say, not me. If you didn't know, there were so many ways you could be or work as a legal nurse consulting. Say, not me, I had no idea. Yeah, people don't know it. And sorry, I'm getting boxers. Yeah, people don't know it. People don't know it. And I think too, you guys, this is one of the fears of getting into legal nurse consulting, because you get in and you think, well, what if I'm not successful at the marketing part of it, right? Well, guess what? Maybe it's not for you. Maybe marketing truly isn't for you. Go work for someone else. Go work for another nurse. Hey, go find, in-house legal nurse consulting. You can work in-house for a lawyer. Lawyers hire them in-house. A lot of these big corporations hire in-house legal nurse consultants. So, there is like 1 million possibilities. And I think the possibilities grow as people are becoming more aware of the value that legal nurse consultants bring to the table, and just people out there like you guys who are like, hey, you know who else could use a legal nurse consulting, like this field, and like tweak it and create something totally new and different. So the world, Jessica Kim, I see you there, girl, is so big. I mean, you could, if you're creative enough, you guys, you can literally create your own title somewhere. If you can pitch how much value you bring for someone that goes through records, and, it's incredible. It's a really incredible field. Yes, there's so many different opportunities, Kathleen. I live in a very rural area, which really makes me nervous as far as obtaining attorney clients. So let me talk about, actually, we're right there now, common misconceptions. So Tracy, you could live on an island and have success as a legal nurse consultant. Okay, let me tell you why. So most people don't think that. When we train our nurses, we start first. I like to have everyone start in their own backyard, and then we grow kind of like this. And I help you build this big corporation. That's what I do. That's what we do with our nurses, okay? But some people don't have a big backyard. I grew up in the middle of nowhere and had like no neighbors, okay? So I was in Chicago for a while and started my business there, but then I moved back to California. So when I started, it was difficult because the internet wasn't as big as it is now. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those other, TikTok, all those crazy things didn't really exist, right? So it was hard for me. I would have to get in my car and drive hours to find an attorney to market. And then I would get there and like they'd be on lunch. It was awful. I think I went to 5 firms and nobody was at any of them. They were like all in court. I had no idea. So anyway, what happened, and this is when, you guys, this is actually why I wrote this book. So I actually wrote this book because legal nurse consulting marketing changed. And what I noticed was other programs that exist weren't changing with the times, okay? The internet was evolving and people were having conversations in different ways. And suddenly there's apps like Voxer, there's apps, or there's, LinkedIn, there's all these different ways to make and meet attorneys online that nobody was teaching about at the time. And so I started spending a lot of money on marketing classes and classes learning about how Facebook works, how the algorithms work, LinkedIn, all that stuff. And I learned and I learned and I learned. And for a couple of years, I was learning, like, how do I maximize social media so that I never have to leave my house and I can still have an influx of attorney clients without ever going anywhere again, because I was so nervous. I would get sick to my stomach every time I would talk to a lawyer. And I was convinced I could build this business without ever meeting anybody in person. And I have grown my business. Most of my lawyers, I have never even met, ever. Like, maybe, I don't even think I've ever met half of them on a Zoom. So I took this book and I wrote this book, and it was all about how to take social media and build a successful business, because it was a big chunk in this market that was not being taught. So I'm also ex-military, passionate about veterans. Yes, I love this. I love the conversations going on, you guys. This is great. So I know your fears that you're struggling with, the fear of marketing being huge. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter where you live, because we now train a majority, I would say 95% of what we train is all about how you can use social media to build this business and to build this business to success. So if door-to-door sales aren't your thing, we got you covered. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Sorry, thank you for having my back. Melissa's guiding you guys over to Q&A, and I will go through them in just a little bit. Common misconceptions. Okay, I want to hit on just a couple common misconceptions. How many of you, shout in the comments or just raise your hand or say me, have done your research on legal nurse consulting and, oh, let me try this again. Do you need a certificate or a special certification to work as a legal nurse consultant? Yes or no? Shout it out in the comments. I got some smarty pants in here tonight. I love you. I love you guys. So you do not need, Laura, well, I thought it was yes. Okay, you guys, you do not need a certificate or a special certification or any type of paper at all to work as a legal nurse consultant. A legal nurse consultant is defined as someone with some legal training, okay? Very basic training. That could be, I hopped on Amazon and I read a book and it talked about common legal terminology that a legal nurse consultant would see, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so certification, certificates, not necessary to practice. In fact, most attorneys still to this day, you guys, don't know what a legal nurse consultant is or how they help. Now, you may do some Google searches for legal nurse consultant jobs if you've been interested in this field before, because it's what I did. And it would say like certificate required or so many so hours. Sometimes those in-house corporations, those in-house firms, they have like a third party that's doing their hiring, and they'll say special certification required. They'll have different requirements, but I'm telling you, I have not once in all the years, and I've just brought in, we just had 5 attorneys last week contact us, 5, you guys, have ever asked me once for a special certification. Why? Because lawyers want to know what you know that they don't inside of the medical records. Your job is to take a stack of medical records and tell them what happened and break it down into a language that is so easy to understand. They can turn around, take that, translate that to the mediator if they're doing mediation, or translate that and turn that into the explanation for the jury. So the jury has a better understanding of what the heck happened. Or maybe if there's no merit in a case and they just want to explain to the client why they can't take that case. They look to you to say, what happened? Was this nurse at fault? No. Okay, I need to be able to better explain that to my client so that my client understands why I'm not taking this case or why there's no merit in this case. So there are a lot of misconceptions that you have to have these special courses. And also there's no regulatory board. There is no regulation on the training for legal nurse consultant. So if you decided you're like, I want to save the money and I'm going to hop on Amazon, I'm going to train myself, guess what? You can call yourself an LNC legal nurse consultant tomorrow. Okay? I'm telling you right now, you don't have to spend $1 bazillion. What I am going to say is you would never be like, I'm starting the ICU today. It's my first day ever in the ICU, and I'm taking on 3 patients in the ICU all by myself with no preceptor. Right? Did anybody start in the ICU without training? Anybody? Who here had training when you started as a nurse on your floor? Me. Right? We all had training. Not only did we have floor training, and in something like an ICU for us, it was 3 months of training. I also went to nursing school for a few years, right? So you do not need a certificate of any sort, color, flavor, whatever, to work as a legal nurse consultant. Do I advise that? Not necessarily. I think that walking into something where you have no idea what you're doing is a disservice to your client. It's really not helpful to you. And I also think it would increase your stress level and make things very confusing. So I always recommend training of some sort, because you don't want to get in and talk to a lawyer and they're talking to you in lawyer speak, lawyerese, whatever you want to call it, and not have a clue what they're talking about, right? There are certain terms that you're going to be like, I need to understand what this person is saying to me so I don't feel like an idiot. And if I know anything, nurses are OCD and crazy, and we always want to know what the heck we're talking about, right? We want to know. If a certificate is not needed, then why are these programs out there charging you $1,000, making you think you need it? That's called marketing. Yep, Crystal, that's it. It is not required. And I bet if you went and you read the fine print everywhere, it would say it is not required. So what we did, and this is totally off subject, but we started Legal Nurses Rock. We started a LNC 101 program. So we created a program that is so affordable. And the reason I did that was because I was seeing all these programs out there and they were creating very expensive programs for nurses, which was cool, except that sometimes nurses pay all this money. They go through these expensive programs. They come out and go, I don't really want to do this. Now they're in debt to something they don't want to do. Or maybe they start it, they don't succeed at it. Now they're paying a ton of money back and a career they're not working, and that's frustrating. And what I found was that people were interested in knowing more, but didn't want to pay a lot of money to figure it out. So that's why we created the LNC 101 program. And we actually give you a certificate at the end, because for some reason nurses just want a certificate. So heck yeah, you get a certificate. It means nothing in this field, but you will get all the training you need to go out, speak with a lawyer, start your business, and get going in the LNC certificate program. But it's not necessary. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to spend $1 gazillion if you don't want to. And you don't have to. You can get all that you need inside of one of our programs. So anyway, side note, let's talk about another misconception. How many brand new RNs do we have here? Shout out or give me a me if you've been a nurse for under 5 years. Me. Yeah, nurses, I know, we love our certificates. Trust me, I was like, we have to have a certificate. It's the certificate that you don't need certificate program. I'm right there with you. Me, awesome, Laura. New nurses tend to come to us and say, I don't think I can do this. I did some research. It says you should have been a nurse for 10 years before you get started. Common misconception, okay? The thing about legal nurse consulting is it's not a black and white career, yet when you go on to forums or even in some chat rooms, people give very black and white answers. And I hate that. It drives me nuts because they're not black and white answers. You cannot just say, this is what will happen. Someone will go, I'm a new nurse. I've only been a nurse for 5 years. Can I do legal nurse consulting? And someone will just come in and go, no. And then Laura goes, I can't do this. I guess I'll just keep chugging away at this job. until I can. Okay, that's not the truth. So there's two ways to really work as a legal nurse consultant. We call it the behind the scenes consultant and the testifying or expert witness consultant. Okay, so there's actually two ways. So hang with me because they can get confusing. When you're working specifically behind the scenes for the lawyer, you're essentially part of their team. You are working as part of their team member, working with their paralegal, reviewing those records, really telling them, being very, very like straightforward. Hey, this happened, this happened, this happened, giving them reports, helping break things down with terminology, kind of being that like educational consultant and helping make things easier for them. You are not considered an expert witness. So that means that your work is typically not discoverable, meaning you don't have to turn your reports in over to the opposing counsel or to the judge or to anybody. It's behind the scenes work. It's like privileged work. You're part of the team, okay? And then there's another side of that. And that side is the expert witness, testifying expert. So typically to be considered an expert in anything, kind of the general or the golden rule is 10 years. You've been a nurse in pediatric ICU for 10 years, we'd consider you an expert. We would let you work up a report, testify in a court to a jury, in front of a jury, that you've been doing this a long time and this is your specialty. That's a testifying expert. These are very different. You could do one, the other, you could do both. A lot of nurses, a majority, like to stick behind the scenes, okay? And the reason for that is it's scary doing depositions and testimony. I've done them. And I don't do them anymore. Once I had babies, I was like, I can't do this anymore. But I've done them. So there are two different ways. Now, I've had plenty, I'm going to tell you right now, look at me newbies, because I might get like banned on every legal nurse consulting site in the world. I have had newbies do a better job at report writing after my training than having a legal nurse who's been doing it for like 5 years and do it for me. Like newbies, because they don't quite know what they're doing yet, listen really well, and they do a really good job. Sometimes you get those nurses in there, they're like, I've been doing this forever, I don't need to listen to you, and you get their report and they didn't do anything you asked because they just already know what to do. So newbies actually are really great. They're eager, they're excited, and they do good work. So the attorneys, most of the time behind the scenes stuff, you guys, is very, very basic. So my attorney today thought a G-tube was the one that goes in your nose. Okay. I had to say, actually, no. So he had an infection in his G-tube, which is in his stomach. Okay. Very basic stuff you learned in nursing school. Very basic stuff you can, look up and explain the process of. Very basic. Okay. So yes, you can be a new nurse and have success. I have new nurses who have been with me for years that were newer nurses who have been some of my hands down best legal nurse consultants that have ever helped me in my company. So if new is making your heart race and making you think you can't do this, I'm telling you right now, you can, absolutely 100%. Okay, next one. Also, another misconception is specialty. So how many of you think, well, I'm in this specialty, pediatrics. I get that one all the time. I'm in pediatrics. Do you think I can still do this, or can I do this? Some people think that because they've specialized so specially, they can't be a legal nurse, because legal nurses, you get a dog bite case or a car accident case, or something, maybe you work only in adults, like, or you only get an adult case. Can you still do this? Yes, absolutely, you still can. As an expert needing 10 years of experience, you can't speak to that because you're not an expert in that. But behind the scenes, if an old guy fell at Walmart, you can, as a nurse, you can most certainly write up a report and tell the attorney how, why, and everything surrounding the guy's fall. well, actually, when they got there, his blood pressure was like 0, like you can tell them what happened. So no, you can still do this. I had a specialty in pediatrics. That tends to be the most common misconception is people think, well, I only do peds. Guys, I have a very successful company. Not only that, but if I don't know something, I know my limit, and you can subcontract it out. Okay, look at me really quick because I'm about to like blow your mind with legal nurse consulting. Okay, I'm going to give you an insider tip. So Kayla has the same concern. Kayla's in pediatrics, let's say. And she gets a case, and it is a nursing home pressure wound case. The guy has 35 wounds, and she's like, oh my God, I'm in peds. I've never even seen a wound in my entire career of 3 years. But you, Kayla, brought that attorney in, right? You found this attorney. He reached out to you, you reached out to him, whatever it was. But you're no, hey, I can't do this. I couldn't do this guy it would be a disservice for me to even open these records. But my friend over here, Kathleen, she knows how to do those wounds. Hey, Kathleen, I got this lawyer that reached out to me. He needs help on this case. Would you be interested in doing it? Absolutely. Great. Gonna subcontract you out. What does that mean? That means that you and Kathleen come up with an hourly rate that you both agree on that Kathleen is going to work at. So you're charging the attorney $150 an hour, let's say, and Kathleen is an expert in it. You decide to pay her $70 an hour and you pocket the rest. So hold on, stay with me. Kathleen is working for $70 an hour. You're working for the rest, but you're at the hospital, or I don't know, you're at the beach, whatever. You're not working. Okay, do you guys see this? So even if you're out marketing every day, and dang it, you keep landing the wrong attorneys for your specialty, you can still sub it out and still make passive income. You guys, oh, I love you. I have so many amazing things to share with you. So many amazing things to share with you that is going to just be mind-blowing. Okay? So, it's just like the hospital, right? The hospital doesn't pay you hourly what they make. No. If you're comfortable bringing in the attorney clients, sub it out. Sub it out. Okay. Another common misconception. So you need to have a network of nurses you know in their specialty. Heather, you are right. You do. And you will when you join the Legal Nurses Rock family. And I've seen most all of their work. Let me tell you. So, okay, hold on. Okay, if I'm blowing your mind right now, just say mind blown in the comments right now. Just this field, you guys, is incredible. I'm so glad that you're here because I've learned so much. And it's like, oh my God. And not only, okay, I'm going to tell you something that's also going to blow your mind. A lot of people think it's like, oh, what's the term? It's like you're out there and you're all for yourself, right? You're like out there and you're just like, I got to have all the attorneys. I can't share any of the wealth. Like, oh my God, there's not enough work. I'm not going to tell any of my friends about this career. You guys, the biggest piece of success, not only in my business, but in other nurses' businesses that have come through our programs, is actually working together. And it's a mind twist because in the hospital, there's a ladder to climb, right? Everybody's climbing over each other to get to the top. There's only one nurse manager position that 30 people are fighting for. In this field, when we work together, we actually have more success. The more of us that go out there and tell attorneys what we do and how we help and how much value we can bring to their litigation team, how much value we can bring to their clients, how much more money they can make by having nurses who actually understand what it is they're looking at. We took one client from an initial settlement of $300,000. They could not get past that settlement. They brought it to us and said, is there anything you can do? We turned around, we turned that report back to them in 3 days. they got the 1 mil max payout. While he was on the phone reading our report, the guy was like, settled. Here's 1 mil max. So much value you have. And when we help each other, like when we help each other in this field, you guys, the amount, we don't have to climb on each other or step on each other or be worried about stealing people in your own backyard because, and this is a passion of mine and I'm totally getting off subject and I hope you guys are okay with this. We are not a franchise, okay? We don't get to go out there and say, my backyard is 92727 and you, legal nurse Colleen, cannot market to any of my attorneys in this area is mine. Okay, that is not what we do. Every lawyer, we're contractors, right? When you want to bid for, I don't know, putting a roof on your house, you get a bid from 3 different contractors, right? You don't just take the first Joe that walks into your yard. You get a bid from 3 different contractors. And who do you pick? You pick the one at the best price, the one with the most knowledge, the one that's the most helpful, the one that answers all your questions. It is the attorney's right to pick a legal nurse consultant that they feel would be the perfect fit for their team, period. I've actually seen people do this, and this is why I'm talking about this, because it is not we don't get to say, oh, these are my attorney clients. If my attorneys did not like my attitude, it is their right to go find a legal nurse that fits their team today. And shame on me, okay? They do use doctors for this service. Doctors are really expensive. They're like $500 an hour. Most of the time, what we do behind the scenes is we prepare them, we educate the lawyer, we show them what happened. It gives them the ability to train and teach the parents what happened. If they need an expert physician, we tell them which one they need because typically they don't even know what specialty they need. And then they pay for the expert towards the deposition or trial. So we educate them, we show them, we tell them everything that happened in plain English. And if they need an expert, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they settle out of court. A lot of these personal injury cases do settle out of court, and they don't need experts for a lot of them. So our reports are fabulous. That was a great question. Okay, sorry. So so kind of related here. Another misconception, you guys, you're gonna laugh at this one, okay? Because okay, maybe it's just me. I don't know, I'm a nurse and I have a sick sense of humor. Is the market oversaturated? Anybody have that fear? Raise your hand, like everybody's doing this. I'm not gonna have success. Anybody? Okay, I'm gonna just say something real quick, okay? People that tell you it's oversaturated, are they actually doing the work? Are they actual legal nurse consultants? Or are they just other people telling you that, like nurse colleagues? I still have a legal nurse consulting business. I still generate an income. I still market every single day. Actually allowed my mom to retire and she now works for me, helping me market and bringing cases for my own nurses. Why on earth would I teach all of y'all how to do what I do, mentor you every single week, if this was oversaturated? Anyone? Yeah, they're haters. I'm telling you right now, I would not be telling you my secrets, hand-holding you, making sure you get clients, following you to the end with my own stuff, if I was worried about you taking my clients. You guys, there are so many attorneys. Okay? Saturation is the biggest myth. Thank you, Melissa. You guys, saturation is another nurse's way of saying, I tried that, it didn't work because I didn't try hard enough. You guys, here's another reason it's so important you plug into a group of people that are actually working their business and actually hand-holding you through the process, because you're gonna have so many haters. Haters, haters, haters. Your nurse friends don't wanna see you happy, okay? They all want you to be miserable together. right? Misery loves company, and we're all grumpy nurses. We all hate our jobs, and we should all hate it together. And why did Kayla walk into work today glowing and smiling? Stop it. Yep, we have to stop. So oversaturation is a big fat lie. No. And somebody posted it on my YouTube channel actually the other day, and he said, I understand what you're trying to say, Janice. He said, what you're saying is most nurses quit on themselves before they ever get started. So not only is this not oversaturated, but I'm going to tell you right now, we had like 186 people registered for this Zoom. I don't know how many are actually on right now, but we have 40 people on. So let's just talk about the 186 that registered and only 40 showed up. Okay, this is everything. Now, out of the 40 people on here, I'm going to tell you probably tonight, 10 of you maybe will move forward. We have so much fear, so deep rooted from all different backgrounds and all different reasons that we will not move forward. We actually stop ourselves from moving forward and obtaining all of those things that we dream about because of our own fears. So most people quit on themselves before they ever get started. And people quit things all the time, you guys. It's not like, people quit marriages, they quit jobs, like people quit stuff. People quit tonight before they even came to the webinar. So, I'm sorry. You know what? Holy geez, we have 18 questions. Let me hop over there and answer some of these questions and see if I can. Can you help mentor to get started? I'm a certified legal nurse consultant just trying to get started. Hi, Tracy. Yes, we can. What you're going to want to do is we'll take a break here in a minute, but I'm going to give out a link to our lounge, and then you can book a call with us, and then we'll talk about where you are, where you're comfortable, because there's a different choices of mentorship just based on your situation. So then we'll chat about that, help you out, and get you going from there. So you are good. Done. Okay. This is so exciting. I'm so glad I leave hospital shift. I have to get out. Tracy, I'm so excited for you too. Let's see here. Caitlin, is it possible to become a, I love you. Is it possible to become a subcontractor for your company? It is absolutely possible to become a subcontractor for my company. However, I actually only take people that come through my program. So let's have a conversation. I'm gonna be very real with you right now, okay? How many of you go to work sometimes and you look over at one of your colleagues and you say to yourself, I don't know how the heck you became a nurse? Anybody? Raise your hand. Like, you're like, oh my God, how did you become a nurse? Not all legal nurse consultants are created equal. Let's start there. So I actually used to when I first started, I just was like, oh, you're an LNC, you could totally do this case for me. And then I would like give it to him. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is awesome. I just subbed this out, right? And then I get it back. I'm like, what is this? This is so bad. I have to redo it. So I actually, after years of doing this, there was one year we had a class action, you guys. We hired a ton of nurses. We fired in 1 year 200 legal nurse consultants. 200. Okay, because they did not know how to write a report, and not by any fault of their own. They had all taken different programs and they all thought they knew what they were doing, but they didn't. They didn't listen. They didn't know how to be a business person and listen to what was actually being asked. Some of them thought they already knew what to do because they had taken other programs. So they like totally just didn't pay attention to any of what the attorneys had asked and just did their own thing. And it made no sense. They wasted time, they wasted money, it was crazy. Okay, so I'm just telling you, yes, you can, but I only hire people that go through our mastery program. That's our second program, because that's a report writing. It's a super intensive report writing program where I dive in and show you exactly how to write a report. And you actually get to practice writing the reports with my team. And then you get a video feedback from my team showing you what you need to do better, what you left out. And then you do that 3 times. Yep, 3 times, because by the 3rd time, guess what? A light bulb clicks on and you're like, I get it now. There is a special way to write reports for lawyers, and it is not the way nurses write reports. And most people don't understand that. Ed, so as far as attorneys are concerned, is it better to try to work for smaller firms since larger firms have in-house nurse consultants? So I'm not going to say, Ed, that every large firm has legal nurse consultants, because our class action came from a really big corporate law firm who did not have any LNCs in-house. So no, I would say you market to anyone and everyone until they tell you stop marketing to me, until they tell you stop. I've been struggling for months with marketing. Hi, Jillian. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got you, girl. Don't worry about it. Lise, I've been out of the clinical setting for 20 years and been working as a pharmaceutical medical device sales company. Is it possible to get into this after being out of nursing once I still, yes. So if you still have your RN license, you can absolutely still help attorneys. Like I said earlier, a lot of what you do behind the scenes, if you're looking at maybe just behind the scenes or even just working in-house for a law firm, is going through the records and translating what's already there. So your job, and the reason you don't need like medical malpractice insurance, is because you're not actually practicing medicine here, right? You're actually just telling the attorney what already took place, okay? It's basically saying, what is on this note? Tell me what happened. Wait, did I spit? Wait, what just happened? I don't know, my girl. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm doing okay. Oh, thank you, Lisa. So you're basically just taking what's already been done and translating it to the attorney in their firm. Sometimes you're going to include some educational points for them. So like if you want to break down the process of something or the different medical processes, you can do that, and you provide them with the most up-to-date journals or articles or literature to support like an opinion, like, hey, in my opinion, yeah, this guy messed up, and here's why. So yes, you can still do it, at least if you're comfortable going through medical records. You know, and I don't know everything, you guys. None of us know everything, right? So even if I came upon a word I didn't know, at least as a nurse, I know where to find the answer, right? You're already a step ahead of these lawyers, because as a nurse, your job is to research, right? So if you don't know something, like you get a new patient on the unit, you've never seen this diagnosis, what's the first thing you do? Look it up. Same thing here. So yes, you can still do it. Colleen, how do you maintain expert status if you're no longer at the bedside? Virginia has worked in the field within 1 year of the case occurrence stipulation. So, okay, hold on. You cannot, okay, here's the thing. Typically, as an expert, you still have to be practicing as a nurse. So even if you're just doing it per diem, even a doctor should still be practicing to be considered an expert. But I'm telling you right now, Colleen, and this is what makes me upset about legal nurse consulting. And when you go and ask this question in a forum, you'll get this answer. Well, you have to have worked within the field for 1 year of the case occurrence. Okay, that's our stipulation. That's fine. Well, say you get a case and it's a blood smear case, and the specialist is the only one in the entire country that understands, let's say, blood spatter, okay? He's the only one, and he's retired, but this is what he did for his entire career, 50 plus years, and he's the only expert willing to testify that they can find. A judge ultimately gets to make that decision, right? This is the only one we can find who can testify to blood spatter that supersedes whatever these other laws are. Like, the judge gets to make the final decision if it's the only expert you can find. And sometimes these experts, you guys, are very, very hard to find if they're a specialty. So we actually do have a lot of retired doctors who were in a field for many years who no longer are in the field that have to testify because they just don't have another like super specialized field willing to do it and, you know, that can do it. So it's, again, these aren't black and white questions with black and white answers. I hope that helps. So you don't need to take a course at all. No. Coming from a woman who sells a course, you do not have to take a course at all. Period. I'm just going to leave it at that. If someone is working as a subcontractor, when do they typically get paid? If they're paid hourly, do they typically get paid weekly or only after the reports are finished? Josie, subcontractors are independent contractors of a contractor, right? They get paid when the contractor gets paid from the attorney. just like that. Some subs think that they get paid weekly. That's unless your nurse is rocking and she just is a bank, she might pay you weekly, but typically all the subs get paid when the nurse who's subbing gets paid. Okay, so what about, so Laura asks about another program and another company. We don't ever talk about other programs or companies, liability reasons, but I would definitely recommend that you do all of your research before you dive into anything, even mine. There you go. Tracy, can we order your book? You can, but I'm gonna give away 3 tonight. So Tracy, if you keep chatting, maybe you'll win one. So I would just wait. Let's see if you win. I already have some training in medical record review to support the legal team. Which one of your courses should I start with? Okay, awesome. You already have some training in medical record review. Okay, you already have training in review. You're trying to start your own business, I'm assuming. You could just look at biz growth, but we actually give a really nice discount for all 3. And I actually typically recommend you go through my CERT program because it is so cheap and it kind of gets wiped out if you do biz growth and mastery together because you save a ton of money. I like to be your trainer from start to finish. So what I found, and I'll be really honest, I found a lot of people who have come through other programs and they jump into like mastery, the report writing, because they feel like I already have that foundation and they struggle through mastery because like some of the programs teach you when a report comes onto your desk, the very first thing you do is look for merit. And if you don't find merit, you just tell the attorney no merit. And then the attorney looks at you like you're an idiot and then you don't get paid. And you're like, I'm really confused. And the reason for that is, 1, there's programs that teach you that's all you do. And 2, people don't understand, especially new LNCs, if they've been trained that way, that there are cases lawyers still take whether there's merit or not. And they may not be asking you if there's merit or not. They may just be saying, hey, can you put everything that happened into a chronology for me and I'll take it from here. And you can do that. So make a call with us. I'm going to give you a login. I would make a call with us so that we can kind of talk this through and see which one's the best fit for you. Do I need to order lots of marketing materials? No, Tracy. In fact, I don't know that I've sent anything out. I don't know, 10 years. I don't send out marketing materials. I don't. And a lot of people aren't even really in their office right now because of COVID. So I still don't waste money on that. Most certainly it's a backdoor way of getting your name out there and you can do it, but you don't have to send out a lot. And it's one of the ways of marketing. It is not our sole focus in marketing. Most of our marketing strategies, you guys, is free. Most of it is free. Everything I teach, a majority is free. And free is the best way to go, right? I spent the money on a course and I'm certified, spending lots of time trying to get marketing pulled together out of the fear for failure or sending information to the attorney that he thinks is stupid. Tracy, I know exactly how you feel. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that and I totally get it. We actually have a ton of people that come to us from other programs. So if you want to join us, you can. Do I have to create a sample work product to send to attorneys? So this is a really good question, you guys. So a majority of the time, if you are reaching out to attorneys, they're going to say, hey, Tracy, thanks for reaching out. I need a copy of your CV, fee schedule, and a sample product. Those are 3 things that you should have. And not that this is a super competitive field, but Tracy, if you and I are marketing to the same attorney and I have all 3 and you don't have any, they're probably gonna pick me. So you want to have these things in place, right? You want to be able to keep up with your competition. I've been admin for several years now. Will that hold me back? No. Why would that hold you back? Nope. In fact, that might make you very valuable. There are quite a few cases where we actually, they'll actually depose the admin. So you're good. Do attorneys look for specialties over others? Sometimes they're like, I really want a neuro nurse. But most of the time, a majority or a nursing home nurse. So I would say if any specialty, it would probably be OB and nursing home. That's really like, they really want a nursing home nurse to do their nursing home cases. So super, super specialized. But a majority of these cases, like the ones we get, personal injury, I'm talking slip and fall at Walmart, dog bite, bicycle accident, bicycle, like riding your bike, those kind of things. They just want a nurse. So no, I haven't really ever had a specialty arise unless, and if I do, like I said before, then I just sub it out. So do attorneys respect us? That's a really good question. To all my current LNCs, do attorneys respect us? Hey, let me ask you a question. Do doctors respect us? All right. You will get so much more respect in this field. In fact, they call me and they're so appreciative of what we're doing. I have lawyers that have just handed over, like, just like, here, you lead this entire class action. Like, I literally don't know anything about medicine, help. And then like 3 years later, they're like, I haven't even looked at this. And I'm like, it's okay, we got you. So you need this, 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 and this. And they're like, oh my God, what would I do without you? They love you. And guess what? Can we talk about one more thing? This is your business. So if Mr. Lawyer Man has a bad attitude, you don't have to work with him. You fire the guy, right? Or the lady. Goodbye. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate that. Sorry, Nicole, or maybe it wasn't Nicole. I don't know. It says anonymous. Okay. I too have medical record review training with JC training, risk management appeals, 26 years of nursing experience, and I just started and finished with 101. First of all, congratulations. And it was very useful still. I would suggest starting from the beginning, no matter what. Just my thought, good luck to you. Thank you for sharing that. That gives me goosebumps, you guys. So yeah, I think just starting with us from the beginning, and we kept 101 super, super, super affordable so any nurse could afford it. It's less than like what you work, in a 12-hour shift on purpose. Hi, Jess, I live in Australia. Can you help me from a distance? Yes, I can. We actually have, I think we have a nurse from Italy. I was actually in an Italian magazine for legal nurse consultants, and I think we may have one more person from Australia. So yes, I can help you. I am a LNC also, spent way too much money and never got started. Really want to start and make this work. So confused as where to start. Cindy, I am going, okay, you guys, how many of you want me to handhold you into the next step tonight? That's what I'm going to do. You don't even have to take out a credit card. It's still free, but I'm going to handhold you into the next step. Okay. Awesome. Say me, 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 me. I'm literally going to stay right here and handhold you because everyone says, I don't know where to start. I want to do this and I don't know how to start. Say me, me, me. I'm going to handhold you through the process tonight. You put the time aside on a Sunday night to spend it with me. I gave the kids to the husband. I am literally going to handhold you. Okay. Tonight, I promise. So your job is to just sit here with me. I am not going to leave you hanging. I promise. I have goosebumps. I'm going to handhold you because I remember the feeling so bad, you guys, just of like, how do I do this? And not knowing how to start. I spent a ton of money. I lost a lot of years not knowing what to do. I'm so excited for you guys. Oh, on vacation. Oh, vacation. Would you like to take more vacations and work less? This is the field for you. Is there any limitation on working between state lines? I live right on the border of Oregon and Washington. Can you only work with attorneys in your state you're licensed in as an RN? No. So I love that you asked this question because no, you can actually work in any state and in any country. You guys, we have lawyers in Canada. Okay. Now, some of the cases that come through are very specialized as in like Canadian protocols and procedures, and some of them are different. And guess what I do? I've trained Canadian nurses and I sub it out to my Canadian nurses. So it doesn't matter. You can live anywhere. Actually, somebody I know had a class action out of Australia. And there's not a lot of competition in Australia, to my Australian friend there. So for an introvert, Is the best option to start off as a subcontractor as someone or under someone? I hope I'm saying your name right, Kayla. Yes, absolutely. If you're an introvert and you feel a little hesitant and you're like, I could use a little hand holding, most legal nurse consultants are pretty freaking awesome and they want to handhold you to success because we love our subs. Like when we find the subs that are like phenomenal, like we don't want them to leave. Like my subs, you guys, if I died tomorrow, could probably run my business. They are, they're like the backbone of my company. So yeah, I mean, if you're a little like, trigger shy, is that the word? Absolutely. You can work as a sub for someone else. Do you ever feel like you're stabbing your colleagues in the back? Malpractice stuff and whatnot. Hi, David. So that's a really good question. And actually, I think if you like talk about this in the nursing field, you'll actually have nurses that'll say, oh, I would never do that. I would never stab my colleagues in the back, because that's what they think we do. So it's actually not what we do. We don't stab our colleagues in the back. In fact, it depends on like which side you're hired for, but even then, your job is to tell exactly what happened. So as long as your colleague did their job, your colleague is fine. In fact, if you go in and you say, this person, David, actually followed policy and procedure, no matter what side you fall on, because you don't make things up, right? David followed the policy and procedure or the standard of care for A, B, C, and D. So there's no merit here. So sometimes you're protecting your colleague. I think that people talk about this, they just assume we're just like stabbing people in the back. That's not what we do. We tell them what happened. So this is why nurses need to learn how to chart and make sure your nurses are doing their job and doing things right. But it's like, a lot of times what we find is like gross negligence, like things you're like, oh my gosh, this person was really bad and here's why. But no, we don't just go in there, and just to stab people in the back, either side, we're telling them what really happened. No, actually, David did follow the standard of care and, he didn't deviate from the standard of care. He did everything right. He followed up, he said, call your physician. He made a phone call, like you're telling them what was done. And then they go, there's no merit here. I'm not gonna take this case. It's just this lawsuit. This family was just ticked off. They just wanted to sue the doctor. Well, there's nothing there. Hope it helps. You're welcome. Do we need any insurance? Yes, you do. So the number one insurance we use is omission and errors. So omission and errors insurance. Basically, if you are to get sued in this field, it's mostly for omitting something, right? Because you're just translating what's there. So if you miss something, that's why I say in a specialty like OB or even NICU or nursing home, if you don't 100% know what you're looking at, you do a disservice to your client and a disservice to yourself. If you miss something because you don't know what it means and you omit it and you give a report, later on down the road, if the attorney found that and you did a bad job and it's the reason they lost a case, they could totally sue you. So that's why we sub out to people who know what they're doing, right? So omissions and errors is the type of insurance you need. What time is it? Oh my gosh, it's 6:18. Okay, hold on. Let me see how many questions I have. You guys are asking so many questions. This is great. I have an idea. I'm going to stop the questions really quick. And I just want to talk about income potential because I think a lot of people don't really know that. And it's really annoying. Raise your hand if you've asked in a group before, like, hey, how much can I make as an LNC or what should I charge hourly? And people will be like, we don't talk about money. Anybody? Is that annoying? I'm sorry. That is so annoying to a nurse, like trying to ask other nurses for advice on getting started in a career and nobody wants to talk about money in a field that's kind of made up where there's like no regulation. Nobody wants to talk about money. You have to talk about money. It's so crazy. I'm going to disclaimer this right here. I'm giving you a disclaimer. You know the disclaimer, right? It's up to you. You got to do the work. Okay. But how much can legal nurses make? I have seen anywhere from 110 to 175 per hour for behind the scenes work. We charge anywhere from 150 to 300 per hour, depending on the expert work that's being done. Okay. I just talked about it. with a disclaimer. I don't know why people are so afraid to talk about it. It's really annoying. It makes me mad. It makes me so mad. So income potential can be huge, you guys. You can make, let me break this down for you, and I think this is very helpful. The average case for us, if you were to look at our company across the board in the last 12, 13 years, the average case takes us about 2 to 3 days to do, and is about $2,500. 2 to 3 days, $2,500. It's about average. So let's see, $2,500, 2 to 3 days of work. Sounds pretty good, yeah? So if you can do 2 cases a week, that's $5,000 a week. That's average. Some are a lot more. I've charged $10,000, $12,000 for a report, taking me 2 weeks to do. So a nurse usually on their own, and we talk about this inside of our program, and we really try to teach you how to build a corporation and to scale, because you can only do so much, right? There's only one of you. So you can probably make about 20K-ish on your own per month by yourself. Disclaimer, okay? But usually the average, you can average about 20K per month on your own, as far as time, like what your time is available, like what time you have available and you want to work. And you're doing this from home, so you probably still want to be able to have weekends for your family. So you're probably working, I don't know, I work 4 to 6 hours a day. So it's not even full time. So when I say three days, it's not really like, it doesn't really always take me full 8 hours. I'll work like 6 hours a day and still make $2,500. That makes sense, you guys? So, but there, once you hit that cap of like, hey, I have 2 cases a week that I'm coming in, that's when we start to think about hiring subs and really scaling and building our business, and how you avoid losing money. There's a whole lot that goes into that. And we actually go over that in our program called Biz Growth. And you'll learn more about that when I let you guys into our back office later tonight. So I'm so sorry. I totally lost my train of thought. You know what, you guys? Let's stand up. Everybody go potty. Grab a drink. Let me pull my thoughts together so that I can continue focusing and giving you really good value. And I'm really thirsty. And let's come back. I'm going to play that video for you. For those of you who haven't seen it, these are all our wins, you guys, like in the last 2 weeks. So it's pretty cool. And then let's come back at 6:33 in 10 minutes. Okay. So 10 minutes. We'll come back. I'll finish answering questions, and then we're going to get you the behind the scenes VIP access to the Legal Nurse Lounge, so you can take a look and see what our program looks like on the inside and get more of your questions answered. Get that fee schedule. It's going to be awesome. Let me get this video going. I will see you guys here. Let's see here. Hold on. I'll see you guys here in 10 minutes. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. What's up, you guys? Okay, I needed a drink and I had to go potty. Hey, shout out. My nose, there's like, I just had my office done and there's little like things flying everywhere. It's so itchy. You guys, shout out here in the message comments here. Really quick, what you're loving the most about our mini Legal Nurse Summit tonight. I want to hear, what are you loving? What are you like, yes, 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 this is amazing, all about here. Okay, good. That they say we don't have audio, but it was Melissa. Tell me what you are loving so far tonight. You are so encouraging. Yes, nurses for nurses, you guys, it's so important. Energy, potential, collaboration, the only way to survive, right? The live Q&A, I love it. Open and honest, that is really, truly what we pride ourselves on, you guys. Energy and hope. I think hope is really important. We all need hope. Like, we need to know that we didn't do everything in vain, right? Like, we are going to fall in love with our nursing career again, and it's going to be incredible. And then the people we work with are going to be incredible. You guys, don't get, hold on, it gets better. So those of you that are like, but I really want a family, our program, so once you get through, we have three programs. We call it the roadmap to success. So we have the LNC 101 or the certificate program. Then we have mastery. This is our report writing mastery program. Then we have what's called biz growth. So that's where we scale and help you take your business like to the top. It's a 9 to 11 month, like stretched out program because we want to help you through all the steps. And not do we want to just help you land an attorney. We actually help you land an attorney right here in the beginning. And we handhold you through the entire process of what you do with that attorney client, how you do those reports, how you go about hiring subcontractors. So it takes you all the way to the money-making steps over here, right? Because that's what y'all need. Y'all need to make some money so you can quit your jobs. So biz growth, those are like the people. Like, if you're in biz growth, you're serious, you are doing this with me and my subcontractors every single day. We're out there hustling together. We are all going to Las Vegas in September together for a networking event that's really exciting. I have a super big surprise. So we are in the process of planning that as Las Vegas is opening back up. And our restaurants are going to get booked. It's a 3 or 4 day event, and it is so much fun. We did one pre-COVID in Kentucky, and it was So much fun, you guys. So anyway, so if you're like, I also need a social aspect of this, you can come to Las Vegas with us if you're a biz growth person. So very encouraging. Absolutely anyone can do this. The only thing holding you back, you guys, is you. Okay, but wait, I love this because I think this will be helpful. I'm such a quote person, and it's probably cheesy if you are hating life and hating your job right now. Because I remember being like, Miss Positive over there is driving me crazy. But anyway, once you love your life again and your job, you'll be super into quotes too. This one for today actually says, don't give up. Normally, it is the last key on the ring which opens the door, right? Every time. So I love quotes. I have them everywhere. And anyway, I just want you to know that. Okay, let me get back into questions for you guys real quick. Do you need med malpractice? Do you need medical malpractice insurance if you're at the testifying level? If you're at the testifying level, you're probably still practicing. So yes, you would still have med mal insurance. I would think that if you're live and in person, you could be sued for anything. You're not technically practicing, but you are giving an opinion. I have seen, and it was, Melissa and I were talking about it maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I have seen doctors lose their license over giving bad testimony. That was just like lies. So we don't lie. We tell the truth and exactly what happened. But there's this thing called hired guns. You'll learn all about this inside the program. Some people will say whatever to earn some money because they can make a lot of money. And there have been professional experts who have actually lost their license for saying whatever people wanted to say to get a really big check. Okay, it's the real world. There's not always good people in every profession, and ours is no different. So yes, I would say yes, if you're still practicing for sure. Do we have to be big into journal researching and presentation, or meaning researching a specific issue, but multiple journal articles? Okay, Tracy, so you don't have to be big into researching. If you're big into researching and you give your law firm like a book, they're going to be mad at you and confused. So when I say researching, so say you have a client that's suing for a botched surgery, okay? And you've never seen it before, but you're confident, like, okay, I understand this, I learned about it. You go and you research it, you find some information that breaks it down super easy. I always tell my nurses, when you're doing this report, and all attorneys are not created equal, and it's really important to understand across the board. I think that's where a lot of legal nurses mess up, is they create the same report for every attorney, and can't be further, like that's the worst thing you could possibly do. So it's important to understand every attorney's needs, learning styles, preferences, and adopting those and placing those and putting those into those reports. So anyway, I lost track of my thought. I'm talking 100 miles an hour here. Trying not to keep you up all night. Don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, you're just breaking down the simple stuff. You're just trying to make it super simple for them. And, you want to take out, like, if you've got a book, you really are pulling out the important parts for those attorneys. See, I hope that helps. David says, I'm worried I'm not smart enough or have a broad enough experience. I even knew what specialty I wanted to do ER before starting nursing school. I've been doing emergency medicine in one form or another since I was 14 years old. I'm 51 now. David, you are perfect. David, look me in the eyes. You are perfect. 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 You can do this, okay? I am a nurse auditor for a company and write appeals for denied inpatient and outpatient cases. Boom. I've been doing this for 8 years. How can my experience be used in LNC? Perfect. So you're kind of ahead of the game, right? You understand audits, what it's like to dig through records, figuring things out. Was this true, or did this really happen? Is this made up? Is there merit in this case? You have a lot of experience, and this would be very, very good for you. How do I create a sample product if I haven't had a case yet? Okay, you guys, this is really funny because, yeah, it's a thing. Okay, everyone's like, how do I create? That's why we created Mastery, you guys. There was a huge gap in the education and training of legal nurse consultants, and it was nobody knew what to do in the middle. Like the attorney says, give me some sample work product. And the nurse says, well, I was only trained on terminology. I don't have any sample work product. That's what Mastery is for. So inside of our Mastery program, you actually get to do 3 real life cases: dog bite, slip and fall, motor vehicle accident, and a practice criminal case too, just for fun. And from that, you actually do it with our feedback, with our help, with the video review once you're finished to tell you to go back and clean it up and fix it and make it pretty and make it right. You can turn around and use it as your work product sample. That's how you get work product sample. I can answer, do lawyers respect us? In my limited experience, the answer is yes. I love it. Thank you. How do you get into subcontracting? Jessica Kim asks, how do you get into subcontracting? You guys, so typically there are some different like forums you can type in and look for and join and throw yourself out there and say, hey, I have a specialty in OB. Be very helpful. I have a Michelle Breen is actually like my OB NP expert. And I think I found her because she was always reaching out to me, being very helpful and like always offering her services and help to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this person is amazing. And then I just started sending her cases. And then she was so great, I started sending everyone else's OB cases to her too. So just really getting in there, getting active, putting your name out there, putting your foot out there, being a part of the Legal Nurses Rock group and family, going through the programs. You get the individual and private Facebook groups. So in there's a lot of chatter of like, hey, I got a case, I need help. Who has this kind of experience? I think in the last couple of weeks, I've asked for 2 or 3 subs just from those groups alone. So being a part of groups is a good way, and just putting yourself out there. Sometimes you can see them. Some people will post like subcontractor needs on like LinkedIn if they're busy LNC. So LinkedIn is a good place to find too. If you're still working in a hospital as a nurse, is there any reason that you should not work on a case that involves your employer? Conflict of interest. Ed, that's a fabulous question. I would never take a case inside of my own hospital. It's a huge conflict. I wouldn't take a case where I know someone. Now, if you've been out of the job, it's been a few years and, it's the hospital. Like I've worked on cases that, I worked at a hospital 10 years ago. Like it's not a conflict of interest. You're telling the attorney exactly what's going on, but you would not want to be a part of that if you were still going to you don't want to go to the hospital, walk into like the NICU and you're like, hey, we're suing you. So definitely no. Definitely no. Do you have a recommendation for where to purchase insurance? I've heard 2 places. I don't know if one's better than the other. I've heard of Pro Liability, and there's one more. What's the other one, you guys? Nurse something. There's another one for omission. Help me out. I know some of my people are here and they'll type it in the chat. NSO, thank you. And NSO is actually the one I have it through. Is any one better than the other? I honestly have no idea. No idea. So do lawyers prefer young, pretty, handsome nurses? Well, Joan, how old are you? Why are you asking that question? So you can, that's a really cute question. I sometimes market with just my logo and they don't know who I am. Sometimes nurses might feel cute and pretty and lawyers think they're young and dumb, right? So sometimes it can be used against nurses. So that was a really funny question. Do we need insurance to be an LNC? Hey Heather, insurance yes, so omission and error insurance is what you'd want to have. Omissions and errors. And if you guys have other questions and you're popping in late, I highly suggest going back and watching this in replay. It will be posted to our YouTube channel and it will also be posted. It's live broadcasting on Facebook right now, so you can totally watch it there as well. We answered a ton of questions tonight. I think we answered like 40 questions, you guys. So here's the poll. You guys are answering all these questions. Thank you so much. Another awesome specialty. Post it in the chat if you haven't posted your specialty. I want to shout out what your specialty is. Okay, so I actually want to do a drawing really quick. I'm going to do a drawing for 2 books and 1 hat right now. And then I'm going to handhold you guys into Legal Nurse Lounge. Is that exciting? Say yes. You're so excited. Yes, yes, yes. Write yes in the comments if you're ready to be handheld. I want to count how many of you are coming with me into the Legal Nurse Lounge tonight. 1, 2, oh my God, I can't count. Melissa, tell me how many people are following us into the Legal Nurse Lounge tonight? Tell me. How many of you are there? Melissa, can you count them and shout out a number while I prep our 2 book and our really cute hat. I'll try not to get makeup on it, but it's really cute. You guys are gonna love it. All right, how many of you are coming with us tonight? We're gonna start with our books. So what I did is we went through on the break, you guys, and we tallied up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that were chatty the most, just like I said at the very beginning. So the very first person to win a book is Miss Nicole Washington. You must be here right now to claim it. Nicole Washington, are you here? Shout it out in the comments. Ah, she's still here. This one's for you, baby girl. So what you're gonna wanna do, Nicole, is send a message to care@legalnursesrock.com. I'll have my assistant type that in here with your address and say you won the book tonight on the Legal Nurse Mini Summit, okay? Next one. Cindy Shammy. Is it Shammy? Shammy? I'm gonna go Shammy. Cindy, are you here? You must be here. Shout it out in the comments. Oh, did we lose Cindy? Oh, she's still here. Yeah, girl. This book is for you. You get this book. Congratulations. All right, so who's getting our hat tonight? We have 2, remember, so we're gonna do 1 more here in just a bit when I get you guys into the lounge. All right, the hat goes to Caitlin Williamson. Caitlin, are you here? And do you like hats? Yay, she's still here. Awesome. So Melissa, will you write Carrot Legal? Oh, you already did. You guys, there's like 10 people that helped me make this happen. Like I could never do this by myself. I have the most amazing team ever. I love you. Okay, so 2 books, 1 hat. I've got 1 book, 1 hat left, but here's what we're gonna do right now. Okay, everyone pay attention. Listen closely. Inside of here, where it says the message, Melissa's going to post the link. You're gonna need to open another browser, okay? Because I don't want you to close me because I still wanna be here with you. But you're gonna copy the link, post it in a browser, and create your login and password for the Legal Nurse Lounge, okay? So Melissa, go ahead. Okay, so everybody here right now, there's, how many of you here? 1 million. If you're not already in the Legal Nurse Lounge, go ahead and click this link or copy paste it in another browser so I don't get shut off because I want you to see this space. This is called our workshop. Inside of this workshop, you are going to get the answer to every single question you could possibly have if you didn't get it here tonight, because I know there's a lot of questions. And you're gonna get to know me and my team a little bit more because we want you to have success, but if you're brand new here, you have no idea who I am. I could just be someone off the street, right? So I really want you to get to know who I am, who we are at the heart of who we are at Legal Nurses Rock, because we are different. We're different. Some people don't like us, and we're okay with that. Other people love and adore us and stay with us for 100 years. So we want, if you're quirky and you're like, I don't fit in, and that's me, we want you. But seriously, I want to stay here with you. So go ahead, everybody right now, let's take 2 minutes. I want you guys to go over and register. As soon as you guys are inside of the Legal Nurse Lounge, it's going to be a workshop, a video with me there. Shout out, I'm in. Now, you're going to get an email that's going to give you like your login details and stuff. If you go there and it's blank, you may need to refresh your screen because the system is a little bit slower at catching on. So it's going to see you registered. And because we have multiple programs, we add tags. And sometimes those tags aren't as quick as your registration. So if you go in and you don't see the video and it says like nothing's there, try to refresh your screen and give it a couple minutes. I'm in, boom, in already. Go Caitlin. All right, Colleen. Woo, who else is in? Kathleen. So how many we got so far? We got 3 in. Who else is in? Go for it, you guys. Here, Heather's in. 4. All right, let's go. Who else is in? N. Jillian is N. Oh, you guys are so much fun. Edelyn. I like that name. Edelyn is in. Yes, everybody is getting in. Let's do this. In. Jennifer's in. Cindy's in. Melanie's in. You guys are so much fun, my people. Don't you want to quit your job tomorrow? I'm telling you, we have way too much fun. Way too much fun. Done. Laura is in. Melanie's in. Cindy's in. And Jessica's like, yes, please. I'm ready to rock and roll. Kathleen, yes. Fabulous, you guys. Woohoo. All right. I'm going to give you guys a couple more seconds here. Who else is in? Is there anybody struggling? Is anyone like, it's not working? This is a scam. I want my money back. Ed is in. Crystal is in. Or Ed, are you struggling? Ed's in. Ed is in. Awesome, Ed. Hey, Ed, just so you know, there are men and women in this field, and we actually have quite a few men that are having a lot of success, and I will introduce you to them. Who else? Who else is in? Anyone else? Waiting on anyone else? Kayla's in. Oh my gosh, we're so excited, you guys. This is so, so exciting. So can all of you see the video and the workshop? Perfect. Okay. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to watch my workshop because there's more information there for you for free that you need to know before you dive into anybody's program, period, across the board, mine or any others. Okay. I need to give you, okay. So Heather says no content in the hub yet. So yours is still catching up. Heather, refresh, close your browser, start again, and refresh. If it still says no content in the hub, care@legalnursesrock.com. For everyone that says no content in the hub, refresh. Remember I was saying there's a lag. Refresh, it'll come. You just gotta be a few minutes. If you give it a few minutes, it's still not there, shoot a link and we'll send you over another one. Sometimes the computers like kick it out. Like for some reason they're like, meh. But usually if you close your browser, try again, it'll work. Who is in? Who has it saying yes? Go ahead and say yes if you have my workshop. Okay, awesome. So some of you are getting it. So the rest of you go ahead and I would try refreshing. Okay, great. Great job, you guys. This is fun. Who wants to go to Vegas? Anybody here like totally down for Vegas in September? Yeah, we're not charging a fee, by the way. It's like the Cool Kids Club. Like you get a cup. It's just part of being a biz growth person. So anyway, yay, awesome. Okay, so you guys are seeing it. Okay, perfect. So Vegas, we're gonna have you guys, and I kind of need to know because I'm actually booking, I'm actually booking restaurants, and the more we get, the better restaurant we can go to, because the more money we put in a pot, it goes further. Does that make sense? So like we're all paying for dinner, like it's like $11 a person versus like $100 a person. So anyway, so Vegas is gonna be set. Oh, Melissa knows. Melissa, what you posted in there? Or Callie knows. Callie's here. September something. I don't even know. I'm so excited about it. I'll have somebody type it in. One of the girls got my back here. Vegas tomorrow. Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Sarah has been with me for a long time. Sweet, sweet girl. How are you doing, Sarah? September 2nd through the 6th, you guys. It's going to be fun. It's like Nurses Gone Wild. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. And we have all these things planned. Okay. It's going to be cool. And I have a really big surprise that I can't tell any of you about, and I'm only telling my biz group people. It's going to be life-changing. So you got to be there. Ed says, mine is still saying no content on this hub yet. Okay. Ed, go ahead and send a message over to care@legalnursesrock.com, and we'll get you a link that works. Some computers just don't like us. I don't know why. You've never been to Vegas. Oh my gosh, girlfriend. We're going to change that. We're going to go see a show. We're going to have fancy dinners. We're going to get dressed up. We're not going to be lazy and in our scrubs. We're going to get really cute. Yeah, I can't believe how many people have never been to Vegas. You guys are crazy. Well, we're going to change that tonight. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, so now you're inside. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the last drawing right now for this hat in this book. Okay, and then you guys are going to start watching that workshop. You have to watch this, you guys. I have stuff in here, myself, my business partner in there too. You have to see, okay? So you're just gonna have to sit through, you took time out tonight, just finish it tonight, okay? As soon as you're done, you're gonna have two options. You're gonna have the option to join certificate or an option to call. Certificate is cheap. Remember, I told you it's cheap. So you can just jump in a certificate, you're like ready to go. If you're like, hey, Janice, I want more than certificate. I'd love to hear about your mentorship programs. I'd love to hear about mastery, biz growth. Can I get a discount? How does this all work? You've got some weird situation you want to talk through. We want to talk to you, okay? We're not going to sit there and be pushy and salesy. That is not the point. We turn people away all the time, okay? I'll be like, I don't want you on my team. So we want you there because I want to get all of your questions answered. Before you invest in anything, I want you to feel 110% comfortable because I don't want your money if you don't, period. End of story, okay? It's not worth me having people saying bad things about me for the money. It's just not. So I want you to be totally, completely thrilled, okay? Welcome to Ellen C. Lounge or Path to Becoming a Rock Star. You're gonna go, so you're gonna click on the one that says Path to Becoming a Legal Nurse Rock Star. Crystal Jordan, @legalnursesrock.com. We'll help you out. No problem. So you're gonna click on the Path to Becoming a Legal Nurse Rock Star. Okay, you're gonna start watching that. You are going to not just look at the retainer fee that I created, y'all. Okay, don't just look at it. I want you to print it out and stick it on your bathroom wall. Because what I want you to get from this is that you are worth so much more. You just have to know it. And when you see that fee schedule, you're gonna see you're worth more than 45 bucks an hour. You're worth more than 25 bucks an hour. You're worth more than 60 bucks an hour, okay? Your time is worth so much more. And if you can just get creative and if you just had the right amount, like if you knew right now, say yes, if you knew right now that you had a group of people that were going to handhold you through the entire process from start to not just finish, but to infinity and beyond, would you do a program right now today? Would you be like, what the hell? I'm not afraid. Yes. So I'm hand-holding you guys. I'm here right now. Okay. So I'm going to hop off. No, I'm going to do my thing first. Okay. I'm glad you're in, Tracy. Awesome. It takes a few minutes. So the last book, dun, 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 dun. I want to book a call. Cindy, book a call. We actually have some available this week. So check the book a call. And you already watched the video, book a call right this second. Book a call and say, I booked a call. I want to see it in the chat. This book right here, you guys, is going to Edward. Ed, are you still here? This one's for you. So if you scroll down, yay, congratulations, Ed. If you guys scroll down, I believe it's underneath workshop, it gives you two choices, like do the certificate program or book a call and chat it out with us. Okay, so you can do that. But here's the thing, you guys, do not book a call if you're like, I need to talk to my husband. Do not book a call if you're like, okay, listen, I don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste my time. We want to respect each other's time. Do not book a call unless you're serious, because our calendars actually fill up. Like we have like 20, 30, 40 calls a week. And if we get people on that are like, it's kind of a buzzkill, first of all, because it's like, why aren't you doing this with us? But it also, it wastes everyone's time. So if you're not ready, don't book a call. If you're like, yes, now, right now, book that call for this week. Okay, no more excuses this week. So Kathleen, certificate first. If you are, just do certain, we can offer you a package deal. So when we do the phone call, if you're like, well, I really just need report writing, we can actually work in a deal where like certificate's almost like free. Okay, and I do that because I really think it's important that you're trained by me through the whole process. Like even if you had training somewhere else, what happens, what I'm seeing when people go through mastery and the report writing is they're taking really like maybe bad things they learned and they're bringing it to the table, and then I'm having to like erase those and then actually send them back to certificate, and then they're coming back and they're actually feeling like not frustrated the second time. And I want you to avoid frustration. So that is why that one's really cheap. It's like 2 days of content, you guys, like 2 8-hour days of content. You can get through it like in 2 days. Okay. It's quick, but it's no fluff, right, Nicole? Like it's quick, it's no fluff, and it's to the point. It's like, this is what you need to know. And all that other stuff is just like time wasting, and nobody's got time to waste. We're all tired and everyone works and has kids and families, and it's insane. Yeah, it's super short. If you sat down, and then you also get a practice case too, and you get to see it, you get to work through it. You can ask questions inside of our private Facebook group. We do all of that on purpose because I want you to, before you invest anything, anywhere, I want, for a very affordable price, you to get in there to see if you even like this field. That's why I did it. It's like, not everybody that comes through here is going to enjoy this. You may come through and go, yeah, that's not what I thought. And I don't want you to have spent $30,000 figuring that out. Okay. And I think too, if you watch workshop, you guys, I think there's a discount for cert. So make sure you watch it. I could be wrong, but there was at one point. Okay. Ooh, Ed won the book. Who wins the hat? A squirrel. Colleen Kenny. Are you here, Colleen? You're getting a hat. You're getting a hat. You're getting a hat. Are you here? Yay, she's still here. I don't think you guys are still here. By the way, my 5-year-old picked out my outfit, you guys. Is this cute? Look. He's like, Mommy, these earrings match this shirt. You have to wear this. And I was like, okay. He's so cute. He's like, he's totally got style. He helps me pick out stuff for the house all the time. Colleen, care@legalnursesrock.com. And thank you, Heather. And congratulations, you guys, on all the winners. Okay. Oh, thank you. I got this Venus.com. I love Venus.com. If you're coming to Vegas with us, that's where I get all my stuff. Thanks. I needed something bright. It's like, let's make it bright. Post-COVID, let's have some fun. All right. So here, you guys, you're so welcome, you guys. First of all, I'm so grateful that all of you showed up here. For every single one of you that are brand new, seeing my face for the first time, thank you for spending your Sunday night with me. This is not over, right? You're hopping right over into workshop right now. Okay. So you're just continuing, because I'm going to stay here. And if you have any questions, you're going to send them to care@legalnursesrock.com. And I'm going to be here, even though you can't see my face, answering your emails. Deal? So right now, we're going to hop off here. Y'all are going to go over to the inside right now. Go ahead and press play. We're ending this right this second. Be sure you send me your addresses so I can send you your goodies, you guys. I'm so excited to see you on the inside. Thank you for spending your Sunday night with me. And oh, I have goosebumps. I cannot wait to help you guys just grow and build this business that you just fall in love with as an RN again. So have a great night, everybody. I will see you over inside of the workshop. Bye, guys.